My name's Kyriakos.
My name's Georgiana.
My name's Chanel.
Irene here.
Welcome. So this video is about Deaf Awareness Month. It's basically got me thinking that I've never actually sat down and had a talk with my girls about my hearing issues. And I've told them in advance that we're going to do this video, so Georgiana has written some questions for me. In my handwriting, of course, she told me. So, what sort of questions do you have, girls, that you want to know?
Should I start? Should I tell her what?
Yeah.
When did you start wearing hearing aids?
Well, I started wearing hearing aids when I was age 5, but I actually was born deaf because it was a kidney condition, renal tubular acidosis. And it's a rare condition that actually links to hearing problems as well as fertility issues, but luckily with my 2 girls that's not a problem.
Very few people in the world have it, so he says it's rare, but I say he's special. You know, he's made it to adulthood, and he's managed to have children and a family and a gorgeous wife, gorgeous kids.
What were you scared of when you were younger?
That's a good question. I think being born deaf and going through life with disability condition, you always have the fear. Well, my fear was that I could never have children, that I wouldn't be good enough to have an amazing wife or to have a family. But as you can see, I'm truly blessed, and yeah.
Are you scared when you can't hear anything?
Oh,
No.
He loves it.
Sorry.
He loves not being able to hear anything.
Yeah, I do.
Because he loves peace.
Yeah.
So at night time, I actually take my hearing aids out,
Yeah.
and I can't hear. And I actually really enjoy it because it helps me sleep really well.
And when
Especially when you two
Yeah.
were young, I couldn't hear you cry.
Yep.
But
Everything would just go over him, which was quite nice because I did like him having, his peaceful night's sleep, and I could bond with the babies at night because they tend to be awake at night and they're sleepy in the daytime. So it was quite nice having him sleep there through it all, and I didn't have to move to the next room or anything. I would just sit there and just carry on, which was quite nice.
is your hearing aid heavy in your ear?
It's actually not. It's very light. But there are different types of hearing aids that you can have. You can have hearing aids which sits inside the ear. But because I've got severe loss, I can't actually wear those hearing aids. So yeah, I have one that sits on the top of my ear, and actually I only have one. When I was younger, I used to have 2. But when I was about 11 years old, the hearing in my right ear went down so much that there was no point in me wearing hearing aids. So that's why I always have people on my left, so I can actually hear what you're saying. And if I don't like someone, I put them on my right. No, not in this situation. Not in this situation. In another situation.
12 years, he's gotten used to my voice. It doesn't matter what side I'm sitting on. He'll still be able to hear me. I've got a loop system. Woo! You can hear me wherever I am.
And I lip read.
Yeah, he does lip read.
Yeah, I can lip read too.
Yeah, I know
That's
you
the
can.
weird
You're very
thing.
good.
And me, I can lip.
Yeah, both of them are very good at lip reading. I cannot lip read to save my life. I mean, I've tried it for we've been together 12 years, married for 10, and I cannot lip read. The girls will try lip reading something to me, and I'm like,
What?
Mama,
I don't
speak
get it.
silently and I will lip read you.
The test.
Love you. When's church? Oh my goodness.
I know. How about this one?
I love you.
Nope, elephant juice.
well, some of the things that, as a family, living with him, that we've had to adjust to is we watch a lot of the TV programs with subtitles on.
That's why I'm very good at reading.
Yeah, and as a result, because she grew up from a very young age, it was all subtitles, her reading and her grammar is just exceptional. And that's because she reads before she can actually understand what's going on. But as a drawback, I can't watch a lot of the programs that I want by myself because I'm so used to watching things with him that we've sort of like gelled into our love of TV shows, or when it comes to even like just the basic things, even comedy, we watch everything most things as a family, and the subtitles are on and the girls read and we say like, oh, how do you spell this and that? So it's an advantage which a lot of people, I guess, don't make use of. So make use of your subtitles, even if you're not hard of hearing. It can be quite fun. You don't get to miss out on anything that the person has said, like with the conversations. It's all there, and it helps with your memory, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you're reading it, so you can actually remember and you can tell the story quite well.
The only problem is that the words come up slowly.
Sometimes they're quite late.
Yeah, like if you watch the news.
Yeah, with the news or any live events, they come quite late. But
yeah.
Chanel, ask Baba.
Have you ever been bullied?
Well, I was quite lucky in school. All the children and staff were quite accepting. Yes. So that's one of my other issues. Sometimes I stutter now and then. But no, in school I was never bullied. However, outside there were some issues in the streets. Some people would be pointing or laughing, or they'd actually make some comments. And sometimes I actually heard the comments. But what you've got to learn is you've got to brush those. You've got to put them back to the back of your head, because at the end of the day, those people don't know you. And the world is such a big place that there's more to life than people who try and bully you, try and make you small. So those people who struggle with bullying, they should talk to people. And if they find it hard to move on, they should communicate.
Yeah. Well, I got bullied quite a bit when I started dating Kyriakos, because a lot of people would say, oh, why are you dating someone who's hard of hearing? They would say, are you going to start learning sign language? And you worried that if you get married, your children might be deaf and all that. But at that time, I knew that I couldn't have children. And based on his condition, he couldn't have children anyway. So it was just the two of us. So it didn't really matter. We didn't think about having children or the future. If his hearing went, then we'd have to learn how to sign. We were committed as a couple, but then miraculously we ended up having children, which came as quite a shock. More on that later. And for all those people who get, like, I used to see the reaction that he would get when a lot of people would say to him that, oh, he's punching above his weight. And I would think, hang on, I'm blessed that I have someone who's so attentive. I mean, it's part of his condition that he looks at you when you're talking. And for me, him being in love with me and just looking at me, I could feel like every time I talked to him, it was like staring into my soul. And I think that made the attraction even more stronger, because he was very attentive, which is what you need in a relationship. And then later on, we just grew. We have this connection, which I have to thank his disability for. If he wasn't like that, then you sort of like your communication becomes a bit bland or non-existent. But because he's hard of hearing, our communication is the most important thing as a family and as a couple.
The last question. What is it like not wearing a hearing aid when you sleep?
I think I've already answered that one. Cheeky.
Okay.
Anything else?
No.
How about what do I find difficult about wearing
What do you
hearing
find difficult about wearing a hearing aid?
Yeah, I think there are difficult situations, like if I went to a nightclub and people tried to talk to me, or if I was in a restaurant and it was echoey, because sometimes you can go to restaurants where there's no curtain, just walls.
Yeah, the
so
acoustics
what happens,
just bounce.
Yeah, the noise bounces, that amplifies, and therefore I'm actually hearing everything at once, even the people speaking to me. And I'm not sure if you've noticed that when you sometimes sing your favourite songs,
Yeah.
I can't join in because when I listen to music, all I hear is the melody, and I don't actually hear the words of what people are saying. So I'm not very good at sing-alongs.
The only thing you're good at singing is Baba Black Sheep.
Perfect.
But that's precisely what I'm trying to revive my singing career. Do you remember when I said that I was trying to revive my singing career, which is non-existent because I'm the only one.
You don't have a singing career.
Well, when we were dating, like I still do. I sing to him, but I sing talk. That's what I call it. And with the love songs, I mean, I'm so good at it, like Tony Braxton and all that. Unbreak my heart. Yeah. So it's like he's made me confident in my singing, even though my voice is really awful. But it's nice that he appreciates that. Like we sing to him, and we don't sing in. Yeah, he can hear our words. He doesn't hear the actual songs, but he hears our words, which is quite special.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
No?
Well, what I would just like to say about having a husband who's out of hearing, I have to carry spare batteries because he forgets all the time. Filters. They're little filters. I mean, I can always tell when his hearing aid is not performing to its best because you'll talk and he just cannot hear anything and the hearing aid is there, but the filters need changing every now and then, which takes me back to our honeymoon.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that.
Wait, okay, you tell it.
No, go.
We went on honeymoon. We were in Kenya, Msambweni House, beautiful location, private villa. We get there. I mean, Kenya's quite hot in February. It's quite dusty, traveling from Nairobi.
Quite hot, it's the hottest.
Okay, it was the hottest month. But someone forgot to carry his spare filters.
Yes.
And then just after we checked in, I realised that when the
hearing aid was kind of broke down.
Yeah, the hearing aid broke down completely, so he couldn't speak to the staff. We were just newlyweds, and I had to. We had 5-6 days.
Yeah, it was quite interesting.
Yeah,
actually.
6 days of
not wearing a hearing aid.
Not wearing a hearing aid, and he could lip read. I tried to talk to him in a way that he could lip read, which was even funnier, so he kept laughing at me every time I would try and say something like, oh, I love you. And you're just newlyweds, you can imagine you're on honeymoon. But the good thing about it was that I managed to arrange everything to give him the best African experience ever because it was in Kenya. So I spoke to the chefs, we never knew what we were going to eat. I picked everything for him, so it was all a surprise. And we made sure that, the staff were not, they were just in and out. We had a butler, he would come in, bring the food, go out. It was quite peaceful. I arranged for him to have massages on the beach. He couldn't say no to any of that. So he had the best time ever.
Yeah.
During that time, and even when we flew back, he still, it was quite interesting. We tried writing each other notes, which is quite
we should get back to that.
Awful because I sometimes cannot read my own handwriting. So imagine having to sit there with him, and we're on honeymoon, and I'm trying to write things. But what I found quite interesting was that whenever you were in the pool, when he dove into the pool or went into the sea, as soon as his ears get wet and he comes back up, he can hear for some
Not
time.
Normal, but he
can pick up sounds. You can actually have a conversation with him. So he would dive in, come back out, and I'd be like, okay, fine. What did I want to tell him? What did I want to tell him? And when you're planning things and it just doesn't work out like that. So we had a really enchanting honeymoon, I guess. And for a lot of, I guess, wives, that would just be like, oh my goodness, what am I getting myself into? But I just embraced it all. And I said, you know what, he's mine. However imperfect he is, we're just going to have to work at it. And here we are, 12 years later. So, you just never know. Give everybody a chance. Give everything a chance.
Yeah. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Thank you for watching.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and turn on the notifications. Press the bell by the subscribe button.
Do you want to say something, Shana?
No.
Oh, come on, you've been quiet.
You've been so quiet.
You can just say bye.
You say goodbye.
Goodbye. Ahabi Love as always.
Ahabi Love.
Mwah.